Hi everyone, it's time for another Sunday drive. Come on, let's go. So today we're leaving Eastern Oregon to head back home, and it's been an experience. But yeah, it's kind of a wet day today. It's not raining right at the moment, but it has been.
And the snow here is finally melting.
Yep, it looks like it's gone for the most part.
So we've got some interesting things to talk with you about on this drive, and it's pretty heartfelt, so we'll talk at you here real soon.
Well, we are headed down 84 again, the opposite direction. Looks like there's no snow left, pretty much.
Yeah, this is my return trip for the 18th time on this interstate from April of last year. I'm going to hijack this video and talk to you guys about stuff. First and foremost, for anybody who will not drop everything within reason to go help their elderly parents out, if you're one of those people who will not do that, you can stop watching this video right now and leave. Because we don't need people like you watching this. Yeah, it's a little harsh, not what you're used to here, but I am so sick and tired of hearing things where, oh, you're doing such a good job, this and that. I'm sorry, I'm doing what's right. I'm not doing a good job. I'm not doing a bad job. I'm doing what's right. So let's start off with what happened. Why I'm saying this is the 18th trip. Back in January of 2022, my dad was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was determined it was related from him working at Hanford Nuclear Power Plant in Washington State. We made a couple of trips immediately to hear emotional support type stuff. And then he went in for surgery in May of 2022. 2 weeks after his surgery, and I was here. Mind you, I was here the entire time. I was here just before his surgery, and I was here for a week and a half afterwards. So about a week after I left, he screwed up and did something he shouldn't have done and ripped an incision in the inside, and it became infected within a couple of days. I was back as soon as we found out what was going on, but we never was able to see him alive again. He was in an induced coma. We visited with family, my two sisters and I, and then basically he came to long enough for us to communicate with him to say he's done. So we exercised his right of DNR, do not resuscitate, and we said our goodbyes. Since that time, I have continuously been beating the heck out of this interstate, going back and forth to help my mother out, because she was not in the health, she was not in the condition to be able to do most of the stuff that needed to get done. We even were at the point that basically the same day that my dad passed away, we left town. After everything was done, we went and we put money down on a new to us travel trailer. And you might have seen it in a prior video here. We drug that back to my sister's place in Ione. You might have seen videos that we've done there. That trailer didn't move until October. I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Going there and making sure everything was taken care of for my mother, taking care of all the paperwork, taking care of all the legalese stuff, taking care of everything that we could possibly take care of for this stuff. And I keep hearing people, well, man, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. Is it not the right thing to do everything that you can for when you lose a parent to help the surviving one? Is that not the right thing to do? And I know people who have not been that way. And I just shake my head at them, just like, okay, what are you thinking? They put you on the face of this earth. My parents adopted me, so they basically found me underneath a rock in Portland, Oregon. And they took me in as their own. They had to put up with me for 18 years, and then put up with me doing my military time, making mistakes in my life, and everything else like that. They were there for me. When they're in their twilight years, aren't we supposed to be there for them? So, yeah, this is a bit of a rant, but just frustrated. Now, Ann has been working on with her parents. The only time that she doesn't go there on the weekends to make sure they're okay is when she's with me, because we're going this direction. We have spent more time separated from each other in this past, 9-10 months than we ever have before. But we're making the sacrifice because it's family. We're doing what's right. And again, we're not being good, we're not being bad. It's doing what's right. And when she says at the end of her videos, was it hug somebody or hug your family?
Make sure that you hug your loved ones.
That means there's more to that than what people are realizing. I'm not a touchy-feely person with my family. We never have been. We don't do hugs. We don't tell each other I love you, all that type of stuff. It's just not how we are. I was not raised that way. But how we show it is by being there at the time of need. Stepping up, doing things, making sure that person's life, in my case, my mother's life, is easier. This particular trip here was difficult because she spent, at the beginning of this month, well, last month when you guys watch it, will be beginning of January, she ended up in intensive care. She was fighting a couple of real bad infections, and she just was not doing good. The hospital got her straightened up, and then they wanted to put her into a short-term rehab for physical therapy in the local nursing home. What a mistake that was. She was in there for 3 days and then caught the flu. From staff, residents, things like that. So she couldn't do her physical therapy like she wanted to. This nursing home was your typical old-style nursing home. Smelly, stinky, run-down, noisy. They would not put the short-term rehab people in their own area where it's quieter. It was mixed population, so you had those with mental disabilities, nothing against them, but those with mental disabilities were right outside her room, wailing, crying, yelling, everything else. Just psychologically screwing with my mother.
And she couldn't sleep, which was contributing to her not getting well fast enough.
So on 5 days ago, from us recording this video, we went in there, and I basically says, I'm taking her home now. It was like breaking her out of jail. The doctors, who have never seen her in person, said, no, we don't recommend it. The nurses didn't recommend it. The staff didn't recommend it. And I went against all the recommendations to get her the hell out of that place. Why did I do it? One, place was disgusting. 2, she was not receiving the care that she needed. She was not getting the medications as prescribed to her by her primary care physician. And finally, it was the right thing to do. We got her out of there, got her back at the house. That night, she slept more in one night than she did in the prior week combined. How can somebody get well when they're in conditions like that? So, we've now got her set up on home health care. We've got family members are going to be there now for the next week and a half, basically.
Right.
And then we have home health care starting the day after that. My older sister and I are looking for a permanent home for her, a nice quality place that's quiet, that's relaxing. We're interviewing them here in a few days. We're going through the extra effort for my mother's comfort. Yet I see in my work, because I work in the elderly care industry, I've got more information and more knowledge and more background than most in this. I see on a regular basis where people are dumped off into nursing homes, assisted living, residential care. They're basically dumped off and left. And I want to make it clear to everybody right now, that's not what we're going to be doing with her. We're finding it in the same town as my sister, and she's going to be an hour and a half north of me. And every weekend or every other weekend, I will be driving that 3-hour round trip to go spend time with her, make sure she's got all of her needs met, if she needs anything from the store, all that type of stuff. And on occasion, during the middle of the week, I'll go up there and make a surprise visit, just to check in on her, making sure that the staff is doing things right with her. Because that's the right thing to do. So sorry about hijacking this, but this is a channel that's better fit for this little rant than what my normal channel is. Because this channel is really about family. Either blood relatives or friends that you consider family.
That's true.
And you got to emphasize that. You might be somebody who you have no living relatives nearby due to several situations. But there's probably somebody that you know that could use your help. Or you're that person that needs help and who's receiving help from somebody. If you're that person receiving help from somebody, pause this video, call them, and thank them. You'd be surprised what that simple phone call would do. Because that person helping you is also sacrificing a lot. We have sacrificed a huge amount since this family crisis mode for me has started. And if you're one of the people who are supposed to be taking care of or keeping an eye on somebody who needs it, again, pause this video, call them up, ask them to see how they're doing today. So, hope everybody understands. Kind of a gloomy drive here today. We've got a little bit of snow left on the hillside. It's just really nothing spectacular here today, but it was a good time for me to get this off my chest. And I know that the vast majority of you that's listening to this understand this. But we needed to get it emphasized, needed to get it out there.
I totally agree. And, I've kind of been in the mode that I've been in for a few years now, because My dad went through cancer surgery also.
He had cancer surgery, and he also had a heart attack back in November 2019.
Right before COVID hit. He had to have a triple bypass surgery. And both surgeries that he had were near misses. He almost didn't make it through either one of them. In the last surgery, he was in intensive care for more than probably 2 weeks. He got out, he went through a drug psychosis, and then he was put back into ICU again, and then he was out again. But it was a lot of
That was his heart attack.
Yeah, that was his heart attack, and the triple bypass surgery and all that stuff. But I was back and forth to that hospital every day. And that was hard. And then, ever since that weekend, it's been hard for Scott and I even to get away, to go for a weekend. And when we do, it's few and far between, and it's by our choice, because, I don't want to miss my visits with my parents.
So, just keep this in mind. You got to know somebody that's either a family member who needs the help, and you see that they're not getting the help, step up, help them. Got a friend, buddy of yours, somebody that you know needs the help, be there to help them. We've got that way with the local 100% disabled vet. And what sucks is when he needed me, I was up here. So I felt like I've let him down, but he also understood that I was up here helping my mother when he needed some help a few times. But,
I did, when Scott was over here, I did go get his medication for him. The gentleman that we help, that lives nearby us.
And again, it was, he called me up saying he needed some help here. I was having to leave early the next morning. I says, let me call you back. And I didn't even have to ask her. She says, I'll go get it. So I immediately called him back, and we went to go take care of it. So, if with your family, life, work schedule, I know everybody's got some different situations going on, but pick up the phone on occasion. See if they're doing anything. See if they need anything. You can order anything on Amazon and have it drop shipped to wherever they're at. Like with my mother, she's diabetic, so she can't have very many things to eat. She's also dealing with some blood pressure issues, so she has to maintain a low sodium diet. Trying to find mixed nuts that's salt-free is almost impossible. We got lucky this trip, but normally I'm ordering them off of Amazon and having them drop shipped to her house. But we've rambled on a lot here, or I have.
It was good for you to get that out. And it also gives my viewers an idea of our life right now.
The hectic pace that we've been going through. I mean, I'll bring it to rock hounding stuff. rock hounding is in the lapidary work is my passion. It has been basically on hold, other than a here and there, since May. Other things, like she was mentioning, things that we want to go do, we put on hold. We didn't go on a vacation this year. We did go down to Lakeview, Oregon this year because we could squeeze a weekend in where we could go down there to pick up the 5,000 pounds of obsidian that we picked up.
Which only took us like a day.
A day and a half. Right.
Half a day on one day, and
yeah, the two of us loaded 5,000 pounds of obsidian by hand in 6 hours.
Right.
And mind you, we're not young pups.
Nope.
But we did it because it's something that we're going to be able to work with in the future if we can get the time. If you're interested in obsidian, $5 a pound, flat rate shipping. There we go. I put a plug in there for it.
Oh,
let me know.
Goodness.
Had to put a plug in there. But just pick up the phone, call that person that you know that is struggling, that needs help. And if you're that person who's getting some help from somebody, pick up the phone and call that person who's been helping you a lot and thank them. It's important.
I do have something that I would like to add. You know, it's been a real struggle for me to come up with content and stuff because we're so busy. And, you know, I know that there's a lot of things that I've done that's been repetitive in the past. And you know, I could tell by the numbers of people that actually watch, you know, or comment or whatever when, you know, they're kind of getting tired of my content. And, you know, I'm sorry about that. I'm just doing what I can do right at the moment. And I know there's other people that have been very supportive, and some that don't understand why I haven't visited their channel recently. You know, it's just because with Scott gone, if I'm not with him, there's other responsibilities that I have to pick up too when he's gone. And the high stress of the situation and not knowing what's going to happen next, you know, it makes it really difficult to get in the groove of things, you know, the way it was. And I want to say a special thank you to Gina Payne with Vanlife with Gina, because she is the only person that has reached out to me to, you know, find out how we're doing, because she hadn't seen us around lately. And I appreciate her so much. She has no idea how much that helped me. So Gina, I love you. Thank you very much.
And just to give you an idea how Ann is, whenever I'm on the road, and granted, I've beat the heck out of this road. This bridge, I've went across it almost sideways this last time I came across, when I came across it. And the traffic camera caught me on the end of it over here. Because the road conditions are so wild and crazy out here. Idiots on the road, she just worries about me being on the road. Not because of my driving skill or ability. There's a wrecked semi-truck trailer over there.
Yeah.
But it's just because of all of the unknown factors with me being on the road so much. So when I'm on the road, she's a nervous wreck. And so she finds her way to
keep myself busy, doing things I know that got to get done, you know, and I'll tell you too, when you're in the state of mind that both of us are in, some things don't get done, and then it's to the point where it's overwhelming. And so it's those those times when Scott's gone, then I dive into those things that need to get done because they're so overwhelming.
So I hope everybody understands that we've got, this past year has been a struggle for us as a family. I see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We've got plans for content for this, for you guys. It's going to be fun. We just need some nice weather now. And it's going to be something that very few people has done.
Yep.
We're going to keep pushing forward with this channel. We work together on it. Granted, it's Ann's channel, but we work together on it. And we want to provide you something that's fun. This will probably be the last rant video that you'll get on this channel in a long time, unless something pops up that it's deserved. So, thank you for putting up with us on this video. Wish the sights were a little bit better rather than what it is right now. If you're wondering where we're at, we just passed the John Day Dam. We're coming up on the big major town of Rufus, Oregon, where we've actually done a video from in the past.
Yeah.
Both on this channel and on my channel. And, you know, hang with us, because we got some stuff that's going to be fun for you guys coming up here in the future.
Yes. We will. And on that note, I'm going to close this video out right here. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Don't forget to hug your loved ones.
And give them a call.